Tonight, Ticket to Ride. We're talking with two New Englanders hoping to colonize the planet Mars. It's called the Mars One Project. It'll train 24 so-called average Joes for 8 years to become astronauts. 4 finalists will be chosen. Then they'll launch on a one-way trip to Mars, and there's no coming back.
The founders of the project say the idea of the mission is to find new opportunities and places to live for future generations. So,
would we be willing to say goodbye to Earth for good? Turns out there are several volunteers right here in southern New England.
Steve Nielsen caught up with 2 of them. He's here with that story only on Eyewitness News tonight.
I promise this isn't a joke. Martians live among us. 4 Massachusetts residents are members of the Mars 100. It's a team dreaming of colonizing the solar system. And if it all comes together, and that's a big if, they'll be leaving Earth forever, headed for the bright red light and the night sky.
One giant leap for mankind.
Since man landed on the moon, the dream of Mars has existed. From TV shows
of your life on Mars
to movies, science fiction writers have dreamed of the red planet and what's out there. In 12 years, the $6 billion privately funded Mars One project dreams of putting humans on the 4th rock from the sun. 100 people, they're called the Mars 100, have been selected to train for a permanent mission to be sent to Mars, to live there the rest of their lives, never to return to Earth. This is your life now, that you might live on Mars.
Yeah.
It seems almost funny to say, doesn't it?
It is my life that people refer to me as the Martian, and they introduce me as, oh, the person who's going to Mars.
The 100 come from all over the world. Sarah Director is one local Martian, if you will. The tech startup worker from Somerville knew immediately she wanted to go. The sun's shining on us right now.
Yeah.
We got kids playing in a park next to us.
Yep.
I can hear birds chirping.
It's fabulous.
It's a great spring day.
Yep.
You won't get this on Mars.
Nope.
Doesn't that sound awful?
I mean, it sounds like a really hard thing to say goodbye to, but I think it's worth it.
Dr. Chris Patil, a biologist and Cambridge resident selected into the Mars 100, says like the journeys of Magellan, Columbus, Lewis, and Clark, human exploration is a necessity.
It's in the spirit of those explorers and settlers that I think about this. This is just the next step for human beings.
Mars One is as polarizing as it gets, some calling it a scam or impossible. The program's TV deal is in question. Researchers at MIT believe the Mars One astronauts will only live a month or 2 before either suffocating or starving to death. There's already been several delays from developing the technology to funding the project and setting a launch date.
Reasonable people have concluded that it is unlikely to happen, some of whom I respect. Reasonable people, some of whom I respect, have concluded that it could happen if we do everything right.
Do you think it's going to happen?
I haven't started giving away all my stuff yet.
If it does work, man lands on Mars, what about those they leave behind? Like Sarah's boyfriend of 4 years, Evan.
People suffer worse fates than having their girlfriends leave them to, colonize space. I'm just trying to do what I can to support her. In the short term, I have to follow my heart, and I'm not going to let this get in the way.
But in the long term, there may one day be a question for the 100 to answer, ripped from the pages of a science fiction novel. Will you colonize Mars? So the best case scenario, humans would land on Mars in 2026. That's already 2 years later than the original mission. And it would still be long odds that Chris and Sarah would be the ones to go. That's because only 4 of the 100 will go to Mars in the first mission. Reporting at the Museum of Natural History and Planetarium in Providence, I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.
And you can head to our website right now to find out more about the Mars One project. Use our interactive gallery to learn about how the astronauts will live on Mars, what they'll eat, where they'll sleep, and how the whole project is funded. Plus, you can read the MIT report critiquing the project. It's all on WPRI.com.